Hi! Good morning. It is Thursday, September 15th. I was just saying last night, how did it get to be here already? That's a topic for another night, how time flies by. What we're talking about today is the concept that I put out earlier in the week of self-soothing, which I'm going to amend a little bit as we get there. We will still be taking questions when we're doing this. Anyone that's had experience with this concept we've been talking about all week, come on, share a little bit. I'll be telling some of my stories as well. We were talking about self-soothing as a way of taking care of our own needs. This is just another tool to put in the toolbox. It doesn't mean that there's not a time and a place to share and connect with other people, but it just means we're talking today about the flip side, about taking care of ourselves. We've got to be able to do that, to be able to give ourselves what we need and not constantly rely on someone else to do the right thing. Or, what if they're having an off day? What if we can't access them? I mean, we really should be able to kind of draw on both the connection and taking care of ourselves. And I've got to correct the self-soothing. When I was looking for an article to post about that this week to give us all some tips, I was having trouble finding something that was really encapsulating the words that I was using. It's because self-soothing is really a therapeutic term. I am not a therapist. I'm a certified professional coach. I am not qualified to discuss therapeutic terms with you all. So I wanted to put that out there. Self-soothing in itself, let's talk about the differences between self-soothing and self-validating. Self-soothing, I would think of as kind of covering a base need. That's when we come to our basic senses to comfort, to calm ourselves down in the moment. So coming to the five senses, what can we do visually to soothe ourselves? What pictures can we look at? What beautiful scenes can we look at that can just kind of calm us down? What sounds can we listen to, whether it's playing soothing music or whatever it is that calms our ears? What foods, I mean, not that this is always the go-to, but if we were to eat mindfully, what sort of foods could we enjoy the experience of the taste on our tongue? What sort of smells are calming and soothing to us, whether we're flowers or burning something that smells good in the house, or a certain cologne or scent or laundry detergent, depending on who it is. Self-soothing really is that base need. Calming down first. We kind of have to do that first before we even move into validating. And self-validation is really a lot closer to the concept that I was bringing up earlier this week. So self-soothing first and self-validation, really about just listening to ourselves, kind of just not making ourselves wrong, allowing whatever we're feeling to be okay, it's normal. And again, giving that to ourselves rather than expecting someone else outside of us to say, you're okay. It's great to hear that. Sometimes we need that. And again, it's really important to be able to give that to ourselves also. It can't only be coming from those outside sources. So self-validation is a little bit more representative for what we're talking about. There's an ant crawling on my wall. That's distracting. Yay, live broadcast. Okay, I'm going to just let him do his thing. Apparently, he wants to join the conversation and learn how to self-validate because he's all by himself. Hi, little dude. Maybe I'll turn the camera around later if he's still crawling around and let you see him. He's going to crawl over my notes. Or on the phone. Oh, that'd be really funny. Sorry, I'm going to come back to, how do you know it's a dress? It could be a top. Yeah, I needed a new top. How do you know it's a dress? It's a dress. It has nothing to do with the pajama pants that made an appearance on the last live video. It's just I needed a different top. It doesn't have to be a dress. It is a dress, but it's not. And Anyway, self-validation as a precursor to self-acceptance. Really, when I was throwing out the happiness tip on Monday, I was talking about all three and giving ourselves what we need rather than, again, going to outside sources. So self-acceptance would be that extra layer after the self-validation, and we can talk about that another time in more detail. Let me give an example of how this came up for me this week. Tuesday night, I had a great opportunity to borrow my friend's dog and take him for a walk. She needed some help. She had a class to go to, couldn't walk her dog. The dog, very high energy dog, loves to go out for his walks. I got to take advantage of that and go have some dog time and get myself out as well. I invited my partner to come with me. I thought, hey, this is a great thing for us to share, but also this is, let me point out at first, recognizing this is me, in that I love walking and talking. That's my thing. Again, I mentioned being an external processor earlier. I love going out and walking and talking, but that's not, I don't know, I don't always receive that from other people. So let me preface this. So I think there was a little bit of an expectation on my part that my partner would want to join me because, well, it's a great idea to me, going and walking for an hour with the dog in a really nice scenic area. And he decided to do something else. Now, one thing I did do well was not take it personally. I really got that it wasn't about me, that he had something else he wanted to do. So yay, good job me. I didn't take it personally, but I was sad. I was pretty bummed out about that. And I kind of watched myself not just being sad, but being a little cranky. Oh, you're not coming with me. Just kind of being a little upset about that. And watched myself, thank you, theme of the week, for recognizing, oh, hey, you're sad. You're sad about this. It's okay. Feel sad first before you start to figure out why. You know, acknowledge that. I caught myself expecting someone else to do something for me emotionally. And again, yay for awareness, slowing down and just checking in and just being like, you're irritated. You're sad. It's nothing to do with the other person. They're not giving you something that you need. How can you give that to yourself? First, not making it wrong. Like, hey, okay, you're feeling this way. What message might they bring? But before I even go to the hows, we talked about that last week, is just taking the message of the emotions that are giving us. But before we even go into what those messages are or how to fix it, just recognizing that they're there and giving ourselves the acknowledgement of what we might need from somebody else. As I'm going on this walk, maybe took me about 10 minutes to kind of check in and realize, wow, you're out doing something you absolutely love and you're cranky and you're a little sad. So thank goodness I'm doing this work in myself. I'm allowing that to be. I'm not expecting someone else to come in and fix it for me, but I'm just spending some time with that and kind of having a conversation with the dog while I'm walking along. I mean, just check it in. I'm not like, crazy person. Having a conversation with myself, talking to a dog. We all do that. But I was talking externally to the dog. I was checking in with myself. I wasn't necessarily walking around and talking out loud to myself, but I was finding that, here I am in this beautiful place that I love, out in nature, which is super soothing to me. And I'm having a conversation just with myself and this other being who kept checking in with me. And it was incredibly self-validating. And I turned myself around in that walk and recognized, geez, I need to do more of this on my own. I need to spend some more time on my own, coming back and validating myself and then accepting whatever it is I'm going through rather than expecting someone else to fix it for me. That really kind of encapsulated how this concept worked on me this week. Oh, here's a comment. Hi, Dottie. Hey, good to see you. when something like that happens to me, I ask to look at it differently. Oh, thank you. I guess yes. Yes, and I don't think we can look at it differently until we've accepted it first. That's really the key that I'm talking about. Because here's what would happen. If I forced myself to look at it differently right away, I'd be making myself wrong for what I was feeling. So I'd be resisting some natural emotions or resisting this human part of me. The feelings aren't always going to be the ultimate feelings or the ultimate message that I need to heed. But I can't make them, I can't just go immediately to fixing something and looking at it from a different perspective without sitting in it a minute, noticing what's there before I shift it. So I know maybe the self-soothing is really kind of a great first step in just coming to our senses, maybe that taking that moment, what can be comforting, what can be pleasurable, to just calm myself down if I'm feeling really amped up. And then, yes, that self-inquiry is very, very important. Coming back, and then after that, it's after that validation where we're feeling okay and we've accepted what's going on, how we're feeling, given ourselves the time in the company, I feel like is what a lot is just seeing what's going on, really truly seeing ourselves and allowing whatever to be there, whatever is there to be there. That's huge, because at that point, we're not in resistance. At that point, we're open to seeing things a different way, to a different perspective. We're able to shift things. If you guys have any comments, any thoughts, any experiences, any suggestions, close this to a wrap, maybe with just a charge to put out to you. If this is the first time you're hearing of this concept, start to watch it. These videos really are meant to plant a seed of awareness so that we can start to look at our behavior patterns, at the way that we're encountering the world, with the way that we're encountering each other, the way that we're encountering ourselves, and start to notice the ways we can shift and be a little bit more in tune, in control, in harmony. Maybe not control. That might be another topic for another day. If you start to watch what comes up first and just give yourself the permission to feel what you feel. Dottie says, thanks, Dottie, for piping up. I agree 100%. And for the first time this week, I'm doing exactly what you were talking about. Hey, for the first time, kudos. It's interesting that this is not taught. So it's who knows how long it'll take us to master this. Maybe we don't ever really master it, but I think it's just the inquiry and the experience. I'm in the process of moving out of state, allowing myself to check my emotions. Yeah, perfect. Again, just that awareness. See what comes up. When the next time you're feeling something kind of and you're expecting the next person in line, the next person in your life, whether it's a partner, a friend, a coworker, your boss, to make it okay. Maybe grab the blue blanket. So I was posting about Leo Bloom earlier this week. Check in with yourself. Give yourself a little self-soothing. Make sure you tell yourself it's okay to be feeling whatever you're feeling before you try to suss it out, figure out what's going on. What does this emotion mean? Just say, hey, it's okay. And I'm going to feel it. I'm going to allow myself to feel it instead of expecting someone else to say, hey, it's okay that you're feeling what you're feeling. Yeah, it is. We can give that to ourselves too. When you're not balking, resisting what's going on, you can kind of really accept this and try to heed the message that's there. Grab a blankie. I would love to hear your self-soothing techniques. When you go to your five senses, feel free to pop them in the chat box. For those of you who are watching this after we close the live broadcast, I know a lot of you are going to check in on your own schedule. I'd love to hear your self-soothing techniques. Pop them on my Facebook page, whether it's my personal one or my business one. And this has been fun. cool to do. It's lovely to see you guys. Happy Thursday. Soothe, validate, accept away, and we'll do this again next week. Bye.